What's going on, YouTube family? This is your man Pristine, back with another video. Welcome to the unboxing and the first initial thoughts and impressions for the new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5. Now this phone is drawing a lot of hype around it because when Samsung announced it at their most recent Unpacked event, you know, they unveiled the Z Fold 5, which I have right here, which I'm going to be unboxing next. Got that on launch day, but I've just been super busy and just haven't had a chance to get around to these videos. You know, I'm a one-man show, so I don't have like a team that does this or that. So I have to find the time to, you know, record, edit, upload. Most of the time I'm not able to do it all in the same swoop. So yeah, got some quiet time, got the house to myself, got these new phones, just sitting here chilling, and I'm like, yeah, let me get to it. So starting off with the Z Flip 5. Now you guys already know the Z Flip 5 is going to be going up against this bad boy right here. Okay, this is the Moto Razr Plus 2023. Big 3.6 inch outer display right here. The biggest upgrade with the Z Flip is that they've upgraded the front display from a nothing pretty much to a 3.4 inch display. So the Motorola external display is a little bit bigger. This is a fully functioning external display. Some people have said, I've heard mixed things about the external display here on the Z Flip 5. Some say that it is fully functional and you can do anything. Others say that it has limitations. We shall see. All right, we will see. Now, let's get to it. So, the price for this phone is $999 for the 256 gig variant. It's $1,119.99 for the 512 gig variant. Now, you are still able to, you know, this phone came out last Friday, which was August 11th. Today is August 16th, the following Wednesday. So the phone's been out for, you know, like 4 or 5 days now. And, you know, a lot of the pre-order promotions and things are still going on. If you're looking for a trade-in, you get significant amounts of money off. You know, there's still carrier promotions going on. There's still promotions for both the Flip and the Fold 5 at your local Best Buy if you want to get it through them. I believe that the promotions are still going on through Samsung.com. I mean, so take advantage, you know, of getting these devices. I mean, if you don't have to pay full price for these devices, why do it? If you've got a phone to trade in, you can get, you know, significant portions shaved off, if not for free, especially the Z Flip here. Yeah, there's just a lot of tremendous deals going on that you can score these phones for great deals. I mean, I paid like $800 for my Fold 5 by trading in my Fold 4 at Best Buy. Yeah, so I got like $1,000 off. I got a $100 Best Buy gift card that was instant. I got Xbox Live, or I'm sorry, Game Pass for a month free, and I think there was like something else, like a month free of YouTube Premium or something like that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, you know, promos and things to incentivize you to upgrade. So, you know, take advantage of those things if you can. All right, now this is the 256 gig variant. Now I was able to score the storage upgrade on the Z Fold here because I pre-ordered the Z Fold. I did not pre-order the Flip. I actually just bought the Flip today and just came back from my local Best Buy picking it up. But I pre-ordered the Fold, and that's how I was able to get all those, you know, promotional things that came along with it. But I still scored a sweet deal on this because, like I said, those pre-order deals are still going on. So take advantage of those things where you can. All right, now 256 gig variant, $999.99 plus tax out the door. It was like $1,100 something and some change or something, because I'm in Seattle, Washington, so taxes 9.5, 10%, something like that. It's ridiculous. I know, it's asinine. It really is. But that's just what the business is in the state of Washington. All right, so what does that get you? It is going to get you very similar specs to last year's Z Flip 4 as it pertains to the dimensions. We've got a 6.7 inch foldable dynamic AMOLED 2x HDR10 plus 120 hertz display, 1080p by 2640 is the pixel count. We've got a 425 PPI pixel density. We've got an 85.9 screen to body ratio. We've got 1,750 nits peak brightness, which is super bright. We've got Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on the rear. We've got an aluminum frame and a plastic front. All right, pardon the interruption there. So as I was saying, we have an aluminum frame, a plastic front, obviously. And then for the cover display, we've got a 3.4 inch Super AMOLED 720p by 748 pixel display. This is a 306 PPI pixel density, and this is Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on the front. Now the internal specifications, we've got the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 4nm chipset. We've got an octa-core CPU. We've got an Adreno 740 GPU, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 or 512 gigabytes of storage, running Android 13 with One UI 5.1.1 on top. Now I love One UI. One UI is like my favorite user interface right now. All right. For the cameras, we have a dual camera sensor, which are the main cams, and then we have selfie cameras. So let's see, the two main cameras on the, well, when it's closed on the front, but when you open it, they're on the rear. We've got a 12 megapixel wide lens featuring dual pixel PDAF and optical image stabilization. We've got a 12 megapixel ultra wide lens with LED flash, HDR, and panorama. 4K recording at 30 or 60 FPS, 1080p recording at 60 or 240 FPS, and 720p at 960 FPS, also featuring HDR10+. Now the selfie camera when the phone is flipped up, the inside, we've got a 10 megapixel sensor. This is an f2.2 aperture. This is a 23 millimeter wide lens featuring HDR and 4K recording at 30 FPS. I believe we have 1080p recording as well at 30 or 60 FPS with that 10 megapixel selfie camera. Now, battery. We've got a 3,700 milliamp hour non-removable battery, USB Type-C, obviously, Type-C 3.2 on the go, 25 watt fast charging that Samsung is claiming 50% in 30 minutes, 15% wireless charging, and 4.5% reverse wireless charging. Additional features, dual stereo speakers tuned by AKG, Bluetooth 5.3, NFC, side-mounted fingerprint reader, Samsung Pay, 32-bit, 384 kilohertz audio DAC in the Type-C port. So, you know, you're going to have all kind of audio tuning functions. We have Nano or eSIM. eSIM stands for electronic SIM. So you've got a physical SIM tray, or you can do eSIM, which you can download the SIM card information. And then you got IPX8 water resistant. It's not dust resistant, it's water resistant. Okay. The colors, we can get this in graphite, mint, cream, lavender, gray, blue, green, and yellow. Now, some of these colors are exclusive to Samsung's website only. Okay, if you get this phone either through Best Buy or a carrier, you're more than likely going to be able to get the graphite, the mint, and the cream, and the lavender. If you want to order the gray, blue, green, or yellow, you're going to have to get those from Samsung.com. Those are Samsung exclusive colors. All right, now the dimensions. This phone is 187 grams. Folded, it's 85.1 by 71.9 by 15.1 millimeters. Unfolded, it's 165.1 by 71.9 by 6 by 9 millimeters. Those are the dimensions. All right. Now, in typical Samsung fashion, just typical black box. Obviously, this box is really thin because there's no charging brick in the box, which again, I think is absolutely insane given the amount of money that these phones cost. But it is what it is. I mean, so yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and rip through that. I like the fact that they make it easy. Just rip through those tabs. And when you remove the box, here is our Z Flip 5. And let's see here. So you got a little arrow there for the tab, letting you know that that's where we pull to go ahead. Oh man. Yeah. Okay. I like the way that feels. This feels a little, it feels a tad bit thinner than the Razr. Yeah, well, the Razr's got a case on it. I've got a Tech 21 case on the Razr Plus, but I mean, but it's a thin case, but nonetheless, it still adds a little bit of bulk. But I definitely am a fan of the way this looks. Feels really good in the hand. Easy to wield with one hand. I've got really small hands. I was kind of thinking that the back portion here at least was going to be like a brushed metal, just to kind of minimize the fingerprints. I mean, I can tell this is definitely going to be a fingerprint magnet, although it may have like an oleophobic coating to kind of help with fingerprints, because it doesn't appear to be all smudged up. And yeah, you can see I don't have a glove on or anything like that. I mean, so it's not really leaving any fingerprints or anything like that. Now, I do have my Samsung silicone case with the ring, which I just bought with this to protect it. And I like this because I like the way that it feels, that silicone feel. It just, it has an extreme level of gripability. You know, so if you put this case on your Z Flip, or if you get like a silicone case for your Fold 5, if that's what you got, then I mean, you shouldn't have a problem at all gripping this thing. I really like the way that the silicone cases feel. And on top of that, you got that little ring, so you could just easily scoop the ring up with a finger and just have the phone in your hand, easy access. All right, so yeah, all right. So we'll go ahead and power this bad boy on real quick. I know we got some juice here, come on. Oh, I was about to say, hooey, I just spent my $1,000 and I ain't got no juice. Hold up. All right, now, so the portion of the box that the phone was laying in, nothing else in there. At the top of the box is where they have your literature, and here we're going to find a SIM ejector tool, which is right there, and our Type-C to Type-C charging cord, and the quick start guide, warranty information, all that type of stuff. I don't need any of that stuff, so I'm just gonna leave it in the box. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the unboxing experience. Very minimal, okay? Very minimal. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Galaxy Z Flip 5. I mean, obviously, if you're familiar with Samsung devices, then this is going to look very familiar to you. They don't really deviate from how their phones look when you first power them on. And, you know, if you're upgrading from a previous Samsung device, I mean, you're going to be right at home with this UI. Everything is going to be extremely familiar to you. Brian, you know, good friend of mine, you know, he's going to be trading in an S22 Ultra for this guy right here. And I was telling him, like, yo, you're going to be right at home, man. Right at home. You're just going to have the ability to flip. I mean, this obviously isn't going to be as long and wide as an S22 Ultra. This is going to give you a little bit more, you know, pocketability, especially when you fold it up. I mean, you could see when you close this thing how small it is. Okay, I mean, so I mean, this is my Nothing Phone 2, and you could see. And the Nothing Phone, it's a pretty big phone. Now, when you open this thing, then again, you know, it's 6.7 inches. Now, the Razr Plus 2023, on the other hand, this joint is big when you open it up. So I don't know if you could see that. So the Z Flip 5 is 6.7 inches. The Razr Plus 2023 is 6.9 inches. So this phone is a monster when you open it up. Okay, and yeah, it is a bit wider. You know, when you put the phones side by side, you look at the screens right there and just look. I mean, look at that. I mean, I got them. Well, I'm trying to, let's see. Yeah, you can see the difference. It's a little taller and wider. Okay. When you close them, you can see they look pretty similar. I mean, just like the camera layout and everything. Yeah, this is gonna be an exciting battle, because this joint ain't no chump, man. It ain't no punk at all whatsoever. I think just off top, just looking at both of these devices, I mean, this has the Snapdragon 8 Gen Plus 1 or 8 Gen 1 Plus, which is the top end flagship of 2022, but it's still a performer. It's still a top performer. This having the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, and so I'm curious to know if battery efficiency, speeds, and stuff like that are going to be a little bit better on the Z Flip 5 because it has the more updated flagship chip of 2023. I mean, we will see, but I will be comparing both of these phones side by side because Samsung has some real stiff competition this year. You know, I don't think they're just going to be riding off into the sunset with the championship on these foldable devices this year, not by a long shot. You know, the Z Fold 5, I mean, you know, we got the Pixel Fold here, you know, and yeah, stiff competition, because I mean, this is Google's first iteration of a folding phone, but this joint is nice. It's very nice, very nice. So yeah, I'm excited. I've said long ago that I feel like, you know, the wave of the future in mobile devices is the consolidation between phone and tablet. Again, not trying to knock people that are like locked into the candy bar style device. I mean, if that's what you do, cool. But I mean, being able to have a phone, like just a one-stop shop device. When I want it to be a phone, it's a phone. When I want it to be a tablet, I can open it up and I can have it be a tablet. I can get work done. I've got stylus support and this and that. Oh man, it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time to be alive if you're into mobile tech. You know what I'm saying? Or just technology, period. They got all kind of crazy stuff out here nowadays, tech-wise. But yeah, so let's go over the dimensions real quick. Man, that feels good. Closing it as well. I can tell the hinge has been improved. See all the little different angles that you can have it closed before it completely shuts. Wow, nice. Okay, so open again. We've got a 6.7-inch display corner to corner. To the right of the device, we've got 4 antenna lines. One here, 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 and here. We've got our power button right here, which also doubles as the side-mounted fingerprint sensor. We've got our volume rocker here. This is up and down. To the top of the device, we've got antenna lines, another one here. Also on the right, we've got a noise-canceling microphone right there. If you can see that in the glare, there's a little dot right there. To the left of the device, we've got an antenna line. Here's our SIM tray right there. Okay, there's no SD card slot for memory expansion, so that's just a nano SIM. Here is our 5G antenna right there. We've got another antenna line right there that's right next to it. Another antenna line and another one there. Bottom of the device, antenna line, 2 noise canceling microphones right there, Type-C port for charging, speaker grill, which is bottom firing, another antenna line. We do have dual stereo speakers, again, tuned by AKG. Another one of those is in the earpiece. Right up here up top, there's there's 3 small slits. You can see that right there in the glare. If you can, right up top here, you can see the 3 little slits right there where my finger is. Okay. Then on the rear of the device, of course, we've got the dual camera sensor. Here's the LED flash. Here is our 3.4-inch display here. And yeah, this is the graphite color. Okay. And yeah, we'll go ahead and close the device. And this is our 3.4-inch display. As you can see right there, we've got the always on display going on. Obviously the time is wrong. It's actually 7:32 p.m. Pacific time. But you know, I've yet to pop my SIM card in or set the time or anything like that. So it says Tuesday, July 11th. Yeah, right. But yeah, let's see. Well, I guess I got to get the phone set up to be able to pull this up so we can see how big this outer display is. So let me go ahead and get this phone set up real quick, get it to the desktop, and then we'll go over, you know, a few things in the software, you know, play around with some of the features and functions, and we'll close this thing on out, man. Y'all know how I do with these unboxings. I'm gonna try to shorten it though. I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet for this video. All right. Hold it down. I'll be right back with you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back in, and here we are with the Z Flip 5. I've been getting this thing set up for the past 45 minutes. As you can see, I went ahead and put the case on because I almost dropped this thing. It can get a bit slippery. But I do got, for one, this case, it adds a lot of grip, and you know, the little circle thing right here just to kind of hold this thing. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's kind of fun, but it definitely adds some gripability to the device. I mean, if you just want to have the phone just kind of dangling by a finger, you know, you can do that as long as you don't drop it. I do believe that they have screen protectors for the outer and the interior display. You know, so, you know, if you feel like you're going to be prone to dropping your device, then you may want to toss one of those on there. I do have to say, the Z Flip 5, it's a tad bit lighter than the Razr. Obviously, the Razr is taller and wider, so it's a little bit heavier. And I've noticed that with the Razr, while it's open, it can be a bit top heavy. Like earlier today, I was just browsing, you know, just had the phone, well, I was holding it in my hands, but my hands were kind of resting on my lap, and it almost slipped out of my hand because it almost like fell backwards. And I had to catch it really quickly. So this, the Z Flip 5, I mean, it's a tad bit more refreshing because it's a little bit lighter, a little bit smaller. You know, it definitely has some heft to it. I mean, you know, this is Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on the front and the rear with an aluminum frame, and then obviously when you open up the device, you know, it's plastic. But I mean, this is made with premium materials. I mean, so it's got a little bit of heft to it as well, but you'll notice the difference. Like if you hold both of these devices in your hands, you'll be like, yeah, you know, that Razr, you know, it's you know, it's got a little bit of weight to it. I mean, both of these devices are still lightweight devices, obviously, you know, especially when they're closed. But again, when you open them up, I mean, they're like, you know, full on, you know, candy bar style devices. I mean, the Z Flip, when you open it, is 6.7 inches. The Razr Plus 2023 is 6.9 inches. I mean, these are some, you know, big devices when they're opened up. Obviously, you know, just when they're closed, you can see the two side by side with the cases on them. You know, the cases, they do add a little bit of bulk. Yeah, easily you'll be able to slip these things in your pocket with no problems at all whatsoever. Like me, you know, I work in the medical field. You know, I wear scrubs all day. And a lot of, I like to travel light. I don't like walking around, you know, with a bunch of stuff on me or things that are heavy that weigh me down, because I do a lot of maneuvering. I'm super active and quick, and I don't know, I just don't like feeling like things are holding me down. A lot of times when I'm at work with this, my Pixel Fold, I mean, this case makes this thing heavy. And at first I wasn't a fan of the case, but it offers a lot of protection. It offers hinge protection. It also has a kickstand, and it also has a screen protector on the front of it, which protects the display. So, you know, when I had to sit back and really think about the way in which this device is protected with this case on it, I was like, well, maybe I can get used to the weight, but this device is heavy with this case on it. Something like this is super refreshing, powerful device. You know, can do everything you need it to do, and yeah, it's super lightweight when it's closed and small. All right, so let's poke around with this outer display real quick, because this is this phone's claim to fame. Like, this is the biggest update with this device is this outer display. And you know, just poking around with it for a little bit, as I have been. I mean, just the basic functionality. You know, you swipe to the left. I mean, you've got your calendar here. You got the weather. Now, here's a good look at that the 3.4 inch display. Okay, and you could. I mean, obviously, that's a huge improvement over the display that was on. Oh, come on now. Over the display that was on the the Z Flip 2nd, 3rd, and 4th gen, right? This is a huge upgrade over that. And you'll see, you know, the Razr, this is a 3.6 inch display. And I mean, this thing, I mean, you can play games on it. I mean, you know, I mean, you've got your weather, you know, right there. And let me see, I'm trying to, something that's full screen. Let's like go to maps or something, allow. And so you see, I mean, and depending on what you're doing, you know, the display, it will scroll down, it'll just go down like the whole display, you know, the cameras included. So with the Maps app, I mean, it looks here like the Samsung's display is bigger, but it's not. But I mean, still, I mean, this is a huge upgrade. I mean, you know, I mean, if this device, if this outer display is fully functional, like some people are saying that it is, then that's gonna be awesome. You know, I do have to say that the Z Flip 4 was one of my favorite devices when I was using it. But one of the main things that was super cumbersome with that device is constantly feeling as though I had to open it every single time, right? Every single time feeling like I had to open up that device. And sometimes I just didn't want to, but that outer display just gave you very, very, very limited functionality. I mean, so the bigger display definitely welcomed. As you can see, you know, I've gotten a few apps that I wanted on the Razr Plus, and you see how this thing is just breezing through. 120 hertz display, or I think that's 144 if I'm not mistaken. But this thing is yeah, like I said, this is and you can see here how the display, the wallpaper, it's a dark wallpaper, but if you could see that the wallpaper spans from the top all the way down to the bottom of the cameras. So it's like this full display is being utilized. I mean, obviously, you know, certain apps, you know, they're not going to give you that ability, but let's see, like if we go to YouTube and let's see, let's go to my channel just so that we're not going to face any kind of copyright anything. But let's see. So this is like the view that you're gonna see if there's like a, I don't know, let's see. Waiting for that timer to go off. Boom. Okay. Welcome to the full pristine review for the Moto Edge Plus 2023. Let's dive right into this thing. So certain things that you view, it's not gonna take up the whole display. Okay. And then of course, you know, you can put this thing, you can have it in like the tint mode where you could, you know, set it up like this. You know, we've got the app continuity to where you could set it up like this and watch the content. And so there, you know, the content is right there, and then you can scroll down here, the comments or other videos and stuff like that that you may want to view. I believe that you have the same functionality on the Z Flip 5 here, and I will be testing all that stuff out. But very, very welcome to upgrade to that outer display. I mean, I was telling people earlier in the year that if Samsung didn't match what Motorola was doing with this Razr, that they were going to lose this battle with the clamshell flipping devices. And so again, it's good to see that Samsung, you know, is paying attention. But I mean, whether or not their external display is better than the Razrs, I mean, that is yet to be determined. All right, now getting into the device, again, both my Z Flip 5 and my Z Fold 5 here are both from Best Buy, both unlocked, fully unlocked. And so as far as like no bloat at all whatsoever, as you can see, I can't even scroll my apps because I haven't downloaded any of my apps on this device, with the exception of Google Fi. You know, that's my main SIM card, my main carrier, and once you pop in the SIM card, it forces you to download the app so that you can finish activating the SIM. But that is the only app that I've downloaded on the device. I mean, you see Google Fi right here, but aside from that, I mean, it's just the Google Suite, Microsoft, Samsung, calculator, calendar, camera, clock, contacts, Facebook, which I use Facebook. If you don't, you can delete that. Galaxy Store, Gallery, Game Launcher, Internet Messages, Netflix, Phone, Play Store, Samsung Global Goals, Samsung News, Samsung Notes, Samsung Wallet, Settings, Spotify, Tips, Visual Voicemail, YouTube Music, and Google Fi. So take away Google Fi. Those are all the apps that are pre-installed on the device. And so, you know, this is the 256 gig variant. Again, because I didn't pre-order the Flip 5, I didn't get the storage upgrade, but I did pre-order the Z Fold 5, and I was able to score the 512 gig for the price of the 256 gig, which, like I told you, I think I paid like $800 or something, little less than that, because of the promotions and some stuff that I traded in at Best Buy to get that deal. But that's a sweet deal to get that storage upgrade. So, you know, if we pop into the settings, and where is looking for storage? Oh, come on, where is it? There we go. Battery and device care. So with the and there was a software update waiting for me as well. So the phone was updated to One UI 5.1.1. So that was nice. And so typically when I turn these phones on, what I'll do is I'll go to the Play Store, I'll upload any updates for all the apps, right? I'll do that. And then I'll get into the settings and I'll check to see if there's any software updates or security patches. I'll go ahead and do that. Then that's when I cut the camera back on and I start filming. So literally this device is ready to go. I mean, once I get done with this video, I'm going to do a restore from one of my previous Samsung devices that I have loaded onto the Samsung cloud. And it's just going to download all my settings and wallpapers and everything that I had on my previous Samsung device, which is nice. But you can see, just off the rip, I mean, fresh out of the box, I mean, I still have 213.5 gigabytes left. 42.5 gigabytes have been utilized with the pre-installed application and the whatever space that the user interface and the software is taking up. So, I mean, you know, essentially when you take this phone out of the box, I mean, with the exception of what's pre-installed, I mean, you're still left with a lot of gigage, as my man Flossie Carter would say. Shout out to him. But I could also see some people being upset about the fact that 42.5 gigabytes of storage has been utilized by what's pre-installed. It's kind of misleading because a lot of people are like, okay, you're telling me that I got 256 gigs of storage, but it doesn't say you have 256 gigs of storage minus whatever, you know, is pre-installed on the device. So that's kind of misleading. You know, I wish they would say, you know, yeah, you have this is the 256 gig storage device, but with the exception of what's being utilized by what's pre-installed, out the box, you're going to have 213.5 gigabytes to use, right? That, I mean, that to me, offering that type of transparency is huge, because there's some people out there that they're going to need to utilize that full 256, and they're going to be pissed if they can't, because the pre-installed apps is using a nice chunk of the storage, and then they're either going to have to, you know, erase a bunch of stuff to get their data fully on the device, or worst case scenario, they're going to have to factory data reset the device, take it back to the store, return it because the phone's opened, pay a restocking fee of like $45-50 just to swap it and pay the difference for the higher storage variant. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so that type of stuff can be very, very misleading. I've never been a fan of that. But it is what it is. Maybe someday that will change. Who am I? You know what I'm saying? I'm just a realist. Yeah. So just wanted to show that real quick, you know, fresh out of the box. If you go with the unlocked variant, this is what you're going to be facing as far as, you know, pre-installed applications. Like I said, there may be some stuff on there that you may want to get rid of. If you don't do Facebook, Spotify, Netflix, you know, if you don't do, you know, anything Microsoft related on your device, you know, Samsung, they have contracts with Microsoft. I mean, so, you know, the whole Microsoft suite, Word, Excel, OneDrive, all that type of stuff, it's all going to be pre-installed on a Samsung device. I mean, and that's been going on for a while. I'd be highly surprised if that were there. So it's no surprise to me that this is here. You got LinkedIn, Microsoft 365, Office, OneDrive, and Outlook. Okay. If you don't use any of those things, then you can uninstall them and free up some more storage if that's what you need to do. Okay. Yeah, you know, typical Samsung shenanigans. I mean, things are nice, smooth, fluid as they typically are. This is my my Google Now feed. You swipe hard to the right and things are nice and fluid. I mean, you know, as things are loading up, I mean, you may notice a little stutter here and there, but that's on every device, no matter how powerful it is. I mean, when things are loading up, it takes a second for everything to load up. But once it does, as you can see, I'm just breezing through everything. Let me go old school, breezing through everything like a hot knife through butter. You know what I'm saying? That used to be the term years ago. You know what I'm saying? On giving an example of how a device just breezes through things, or how responsive a device is to, you know, to the touch, or how quickly it opens up apps and stuff like that when you tap on them. Yeah. Performs like a hot knife through butter, baby. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's real quick. I haven't set up face unlock yet, but I can imagine it's going to be just like it is on all the other Samsung devices. Excellent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the face unlock, you know, it's always been super fast on other Samsung devices. My most recent Samsung device was my Z Fold 4. This is weird, ladies and gentlemen. So I got the Fold 4 and the Flip 4 online, actually like 3 days before launch day, because I ordered both of those last year from Samsung. And they got to my house like 3 days early, which that typically happens when you're an early pre-orderer. And I first popped my phone in, my SIM in the Z Flip 4 and fell in love with it. And I barely even touched. I picked up my Fold 4, but it was heavy. And, you know, like I just got done explaining not too long ago, I like to travel light, especially when I'm at work, moving and shaking. And I just felt like the Fold 4 was a bit heavier than what I would like to carry on a day in and day out basis. Well, what I did was, when the Pixel Fold here started gaining traction and it got closer to its arrival, I'll say about 2 months before the Pixel Fold dropped, I finally picked up my Z Fold 4, and I didn't do an unboxing video on it, nothing, right? I just totally like slept on it and just had it sitting on my desk collecting dust, and put my SIM card in it about a month and a half, 2 months before the Pixel Fold dropped, because I knew that that was going to be the main competition to the Pixel Fold. And oh my God, I was mind blown. I was tripping for not messing with that device for all this time. And so I know for a fact, because of how I loved that device the last, couple of months, and I traded it in for my Z Fold 5 here, and I had to go like 9 days without it while this came in, and oh my goodness, I was dreading it. But what that did was that gave me time to use my Pixel Fold and get acclimated to it and really use it. And so, get some more thoughts and opinions and stuff like that as I'm working on my review for that and testing that out. I guess I say all that to say, this year, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to get some Fold 5 content from your boy Pristine. You should have got some Fold 4 content from your boy Pristine, because I had it since launch day and I just didn't do anything with it. So my apologies for that. You know what I'm saying? But that is not going to happen this time around. Both of these phones are a hot commodity. The Flip 4, the Flip 5, the Z Fold 5. But I mean, again, I feel like the main attraction this year is the Flip 5 because of that external display, and the Moto Razr Plus 2023 is a super hot device. I mean, right now I'd have to say that this is the king of the clamshell folding devices. Can it be dethroned by the Flip here? Things that make me go, Now, that's just my opinion. Some of y'all might be like, Pristine, you crazy, man. You know what I'm talking about? That Flip 5, man. That's what's happening, man. Never mind that Moto. But bruh, Bruh. You know what I'm saying? This joint right here is cold, man. I'm telling you. This razor ain't no joke. All right, now, yeah, double tap to wake, double tap to sleep. I like that function. Fingerprint, super quick, as that just displayed right there. We'll tap that again for, would you like to use your device's precise location? Sure. Do that. Okay. All right, just for accuracy real quick. Popped right open. Do that one more again. You know what I'm saying? Not one more time. Let's do that one more again. You know what I'm talking about? Boom. Just like that. Okay. Biometrics, no problem. No problem. Okay. Swipe down from the top. That's going to take you to, you know, some notifications that you may have. Swipe down again. This is going to take you to your quick toggles. Okay. Then up top here, you've got your search, power, settings, and then you hit those three dots. You got edit buttons, quick panel layout, status bar, or contact us. Now, again, by default, fresh out the BizOx, this phone has the capacitive keys for your back recents and all that. And so if you want to change that, then you just want to click on status bar, and I believe this is where you're going to show notification icons, show battery percentage, notification history, conversations, floating notifications, or maybe that's going to be under gestures. Okay. If you want to maneuver around your quick toggles here, you hit the three dots and hit edit buttons. Okay. Pardon the Michael Myers tone. That's my text message tone for the Razr Plus here, and will soon to be the text messaging tone for my Z Fold or Z Flip 5 here. Yeah, if you want to customize your quick toggles, it says here up top, available buttons. What you do is you just click and drag these things around. If you want it to be in your quick toggle list, you just move it down here. Anything that's in your quick toggle list that you don't want there, let's see, like scan QR codes, just touch and hold that, move it up there, boom, and it's out of your quick toggles. And then you hit done and you're done. Okay. And I've already kind of customized these things, put them in the order in which I like. You know, Wi-Fi, secure Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, flashlight, Dolby Atmos, location sound, mobile data, auto rotate, mobile hotspot, power share, link to Windows, screen recorder, eye comfort, dark mode, sound notifications, and modes. I'm not exactly sure what modes is. And then if I like to, here we have our brightness slider right there. Again, remember this phone gets up to 1750 nits max brightness. That's blinding. You know what I'm saying? So you should not have any problems at all viewing this device. All right, now what we'll do is we'll pop down into the settings. And again, if you're familiar with Android, especially Samsung devices with One UI, I mean, like I said, you're going to be right at home with this device. Okay. Let's make this short and sweet. Sync your Wi-Fi networks, connections. This is where you're going to go to, access your Bluetooth, NFC, and contactless payments, which I don't use, so I'm going to turn that off. Airplane mode, SIM manager, mobile networks, data usage, mobile hotspot and tethering. And then if you've got more connection settings, if you click on that, it's going to take you to nearby device scanning, printing, VPN, private DNS, and Ethernet. Okay. Connected devices, quick share or Android Auto. And so you got quick share, auto switch buds, call and text on other devices, continue apps on other devices, link windows. Interesting. This now the Flip 5 here does not have DeX, but you can link windows. And see, as I was explaining to my good friend Brian, who is highly interested in the Flip 5, and I believe he's actually going to pick his up for this Friday. The Moto Razr Plus 2023 has what's called Ready For. Ready For it's very comparable to Samsung DeX. A lot of people use DeX. So why Samsung opted to not include DeX on the Flip 5, I'm not exactly sure, but for some of you that may be a determining factor. And the fact that the Flip 5 does not have Ready For may push people to lean more towards the Razr Plus 2023 because it has Ready For, which is basically like the same connectivity functionality to your computer. But then my understanding is that it also offers a bit more as well than DeX does. So Samuel, they dropped the ball on that one. Now, I don't really use DeX. I haven't used Ready For, but I remember when Motorola implemented it. I believe they implemented it last year on the Moto Edge Plus 2022. And I was like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Moto, they ain't playing no games. They trying to come with some heat. And they are definitely doing that for a fact. Yeah, so connected devices, link to Windows, multi-control, Smart View, Galaxy Wearable, Smart Things, Android Auto. That's all under connected devices. You got modes and routines. This is choose a mode based on what you're doing or where you are. Your phone settings will change to match your activity or situation. To automatically start modes and routines based on your activity, you need to turn on customization services. And then of course, it's going to ask you to cut it on. You can either hit not now or turn on customization services. Then it says add your home, work, or other places to start modes and routines when you arrive or leave. Okay, then it will say not now or add place. Okay, and then you've got your sleep, theater, driving, exercise, relax, work, and then you can add a mode. Okay, so you can really customize this phone up to really just hone in on whatever it is that you're doing and basically tailor make the device to function however you want it to based on what you're doing, right? That's super dope. And One UI, man, I'm telling you, man, One UI is to me by far the coldest, the dopest user interface. There's some good ones out there, but One UI is my favorite. Now that nothing UI on my Nothing phone too. Oh man, that's pretty sweet too. That's pretty slick. Shout out to Carl Pay and the Nothing team. All right, now sounds and vibrations. This is where you're gonna do if you want sound to be heard, turn it on, vibrate or mute. Vibrate while ringing. Yes, I want that on. This is where you can change your ringtone, notification tone, or notification sound, system sound, volume. Samsung devices, I've always loved them because them and LG were the only ones back in the day that would give you the option to toggle separately the ringtone volume and the notification tone volume. I cannot stand on the Pixel. It seemed like you had the ability to do that before, then it got updated, and then it's like they consolidated the ringtone and the notification tone again. I hate it. Okay? I like to be able to customize separately the ringtone and the notification tone because I might want to leave my notification tone high, but then I may want to turn the volume down on my ringtone or vice versa. Okay? So one of the reasons why I always pop in the volumes is to check and see if the manufacturer is giving me that ability. And it's nice to see that Samsung is carrying on the tradition with allowing me that. I like that. Appreciate you, Sammy. All right. Now we got system sound. Okay. Sound and system sound volume, system sound theme, touch interaction, dialing keypad, Samsung keyboard, charging, lock screen sounds. You can turn all those things on or off, whatever your little heart desires. Call vibrations, notification vibration, system vibration, vibration intensity, sound quality and effects, separate app sound. Now this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the main reasons why I love Samsung devices. And I talk about this every time I do an unboxing because I think this is a highly slept on feature and not a lot of people know about it. Because again, there's so many things buried within the settings. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that have this feature on their Samsung devices, but they don't even know it because they don't dive deep into their settings. Okay. Sound quality and effects. This gives you the ability to toggle the sound completely. So you have Dolby Atmos. Okay. So yes, let's turn that on. You got Dolby Atmos for gaming. You've got a full equalizer with some presets, normal, pop, classic, jazz, rock, and then custom. Okay, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have a 9-band EQ to where you can customize sound if that's what you want to do. Hashtag bars, 9-band EQ, customize sound if that's what you want to do. Ooh, I need to get in the studio, man. Yeah. All right. So yeah, you got an equalizer right there. But then when you go out of that, when you hit adapt sound, now, boom. Adapt sound. Your ears are unique. You may be more sensitive or less sensitive to certain frequencies of sound compared to other people. Your hearing varies with age and may even differ from your left ear to your right ear. Adapt sound gives you perfect sound that's tuned just for your ears. It works whenever you're wearing headphones. Then it says adapt sound for media and calls. That's what it's on by default, but when you tap on it, it says only media or only calls. Okay? But by default, it's selected media and calls. Okay? Now, choose a preset that matches your age or try a hearing test to get fully personalized sound. When have you ever known another device to do that? Okay? There's a lot of devices that come with Dolby Atmos or aptX HD or DTSX sound that give you some customizable options to, you know, tweak your sound and stuff like that. Most people, they rock out to their favorite tunes and playlists on a lot of these streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, you know, YouTube Music, Deezer, Tidal, you know, Pandora, Prime Music, you know what I'm talking about? I mean, there's just a plethora of them. A plethora. You see? A plethora. You know, but when have you seen this level of customization to where you can really tweak the sound and really make it your own? Okay, so like for me, by default, it's on no boost. Now, for those of you that didn't know, your boy Pristine, even though I look not a day past 25, next month in September, I'll be 45 years old. That's right. You know what I'm saying? I'll be 45 and I make it look damn good, baby. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to hit that 30 to 60 years old. Okay? And then when you hit the little settings icon right there, you can see the frequency, and you could say preview, and it's going to say connect headphones to start. When you plug some headphones into the Type-C port, it's going to start the hearing test. And it's just kind of like one of those things when you're in the doctor's office or something like that. If they're testing your hearing, sounds are going to play on the right side, on the left side. Sounds are going to play on both sides, and then you got to like tap on the screen or something to indicate that you hear something. Okay? And based off of how you score on that test, the device is going to curate a personalized sound based on how you did on that test. I mean, that is insane. And I never hear anybody talking about this feature when they refer to a Samsung device. No one. It's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're, you know, if you're a music buff like I am. Now I have dedicated more modernized MP3 players. Yes, I did say MP3s. Those things still exist. You know, you got, you know, MP3 players that are Android operated that are well into the thousands that have nothing but top end audio equipment built into them so that you are listening to sound that is just insane. I have like 6 of them, and that's insane. because I'm just a fool for audio and just trying to develop that right sound. And each one of the players offers something different, but I have two favorites. So I typically don't listen to music on my device, but when I did, I was listening to it on a Samsung device. This option was heavily utilized. I mean, whether I'm listening to a Bluetooth connected device, typically on wireless, if I have this paired to smart speakers, oh man, it just sounds so lovely. So lovely indeed. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, man, this is an experience. If you rock out to your favorite tunes, songs, playlist on a mobile device and you have a Samsung, you need to tap into this feature. You need to. You need to. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm gonna just turn that back on off because that's what it's on default. All right. We get out of that. Boom. Okay. All right, let's keep it going. Okay, notifications, display. Okay, dark mode, obviously a must. All black, everything, no racist. Y'all know how I get down. You know what I'm saying? Adaptive brightness, nope. I like just my brightness set. Motion smoothness, does it give us options? No, it doesn't. Now that sucks. I'm not a big fan of that. Okay. Get smoother animations and scrolling by automatically adjusting your screen refresh rate up to 120. Then you have standard, which is 60 Hertz. Get longer battery life by automatically adjusting your screen refresh rate up to 60 Hertz. And then the screen is trash. Because once you get used to and accustomed to that smooth display and responsiveness to the touch, you don't want to go backwards. You don't want to do away from that. You know what I mean? So it would have been nice to see 120, 90, then maybe 60. If that's what we want to choose based on where our battery life is sitting at. Now with the Motorola here, as far as the refresh rate, you have 144 Hertz, 120 Hertz, 90 Hertz. Wait, whoa, hold up. I don't want to lead y'all on. I think that's what we have on the Moto Edge Plus 2023. Hold up, let me pop down in the settings. All right. Let me see. Refresh rate. See, same thing. High standard, but this goes up to 165 Hertz on both the inner and the external display. You're talking about silky smooth, buttery smooth performance. And this thing also has like performance modes, RAM boost, all that type of stuff. But it says refresh rate is smart, optimized between 1 Hertz to 165 Hertz. In game time, 165 Hertz is the maximum refresh rate for compatible games. A higher display refresh rate allows for smoother viewing, but drains the battery faster. In some low usage scenarios, your phone may optimize the refresh rate to 1 Hertz in order to preserve battery life. Refresh rate is capped at 60 Hertz in battery saver mode. Okay. Did I tell you that Motorola ain't playing? Did I tell you that they ain't playing? Okay. So it has a variable refresh rate. It doesn't look like the adaptive refresh rate on the Flip 5 here is variable. Okay, so we're gonna keep that on adaptive. You know what I'm saying? Now, eye comfort shield, screen mode, vivid, natural. Of course, when it's natural, you don't have anything to toggle. When it's on vivid, you can control the white balance to cool, warm. When you go to advanced, then it gives you the ability to control the RGB, which is the red, the green, the blue. Sissies. The red, the black, the green. Man, shout out to X-Clan, man. Y'all remember X-Clan? Man, y'all ain't hit, man. You little young bucks, man. Google the X-Clan, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, we celebrating 50 years of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I ain't heard nobody say nothing about X-Clan. You know what I'm saying? The red, the black, the green, sissies. Yeah, shout out to the X-Clan, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? All right. Man, yeah. I told y'all, man, I'm about to turn 45. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, me saying that, you know, I just kind of, you know, revealed, you know what I'm saying, my age range. It's okay. It's cool. It's cool. It's all to the G. It's all good. But yeah. All right, moving along. Font size and style, screen zoom, full screen apps, camera cutout, timeout. Put that on a minute. Easy mode. You know, you got a kid or something you want to slide this to. Not recommended. But I mean, if you're one of them type of parents, then okay. Yeah, no knock. No knock. I'm just saying kids typically don't respect the tech. You see? So I'm just saying this ain't the device that you want to pass along to your child who likes to just conveniently drop the device because they think it's funny. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, if you are the type of parent that is brave enough to do such a thing, then yeah, you do have easy mode. Or if you just want to minimize the complexity of this device, then you can put it on easy mode for yourself as well. You see, edge panels. See the little panel right there? That's the edge panel. I'll customize and play with that later. Again, Samsung originated that. There's been some spin-offs on other devices, but not really a feature that I use that often. But you know, it's good that it's there. You know, it gives you an option just to kind of get to your apps quicker, your most consistently used apps without you having to go into your app tray to access them. One less step, I guess. But yeah, navigation bar. Boom, here we go. Okay, so this is where we're gonna go to change the navigation bar. Okay, gestures. You know, you could have the capacitive keys, which again, I can't even remember the last time I've seen capacitive keys on a phone. But you know, it was on this phone by default, so I'll just rock with it. I'll change it, you know, after the video is completed. But if you do want to change it, this is where you go to change your navigation bar. Okay. We've got accidental touch protection, touch sensitivity, show charging information, and screen saver. Then looking for something else, side button, language, visibility enhancements, always on display. Okay. Now, wallpaper and style, themes, home screen, lock screen, cover screen. Let's go to cover screen. Okay. So you can, this is where you could, obviously you could choose your cover screen. You know, you could choose between some pre-installed faces, or you can hit add new, and I believe that that's gonna either take you to the Samsung store where you can buy some more external faces, or maybe you have some access to some other free ones that aren't listed here. You can download them to the device, or you can go into your photos, and I'm pretty sure, you know, you could use one of your photos that you've got in your gallery or in the Google Play Store, and use that as your your external cover display. Okay, widgets. You know, you got choose info to show when you swipe the clock to the left. You got calendar, weather, recent calls. Yeah, let's do that. Direct dial. Yeah, let's do that. Alarm, stopwatch, timer, steps, smart things, routines, finance watch list, and then daily activity. Yeah, let's turn that on as well. But yeah, so you got a few things that you can customize. Cover screen timeout, 10 seconds. Yeah, let's do like 15, you know what I'm saying? Because that joint be turning off hella quick. You know, matter of fact, let's do 30. You know what I'm saying? I do 30, you know what I'm talking about? And let's be on up like that. All right. Show notifications. If lock screen notifications are turned off or set to hide content, notifications won't show on the screen, on the cover screen either. Turn on screen for notifications, quick responses. So this is like if somebody texts you or something like that, quick responses. You can add your own, but by default you got yes, yes please, okay, no, no thanks, nope, thanks, much appreciated, on my way, what's up, later, nice, I agree, great, what, oh my God, OMG, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm delirious right now. Y'all been up since 3 a.m. You know what I'm saying? So pardon me, you know what I'm saying? The random acts of ignorance. You know, this is just how I get when I'm tired, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So those are going to be under all the quick responses. Let's see, when you add new here, these are the featured ones. Okay. Okay, I see. So these are the ones that are featured. This one right here, because this is the graphite colored device, is the one that you get by default. So I believe if you get like the mint color, basically this little external display is going to be the same color of the device that you choose. Okay. Okay. Pardon that noise. My cat's in the bedroom and he wants to get out, so he's scratching at the door. I have no pictures or videos in the gallery, which is why nothing is popping up there. Then we've got informative presets. Okay, now this is dope. I like this. I like this one in particular. Okay. Got a little clock, notifications, battery life, the date, the weather. Yeah, I'm gonna play around with this a little more and see. So I'm just showing you guys what's available. Then you got graphical. Okay, so those are the graphical ones. Okay, then you got simple. These are the simple ones. And then you got colors. And you got a few of those. So not a lot of options to choose from, but I imagine, this is going to be a lot more robust, as, Samsung continues to, optimize and update this device and make things more available, for it. Yeah, so that's going to be your cover screen: security and privacy, location, safety and emergency, accounts and backup, Google, advanced features. So you got labs. What is labs? Try experimental features. Some features may not work correctly with all apps. Multi-window for all apps. Flex mode panel. Use main screen navigation on cover screen. Apps allowed on cover screen. Okay. So maybe when you turn that on, maybe that's a way of telling the device that you want full-on apps to be available on the cover screen. Okay, my apologies for the interruption, but yes, as I was saying, I believe that this may be how you turn on the external display's ability to function as a fully functional display. Time will tell. Okay, but make sure that you're subscribed. Tune in to content that I'm dropping. So when I drop that full pristine review, then I'll be talking a little bit more about that. All right. Somehow this phone has got to be able to do that to compete with this guy right here. Okay. Now let's see. Okay, so under advanced features, we've got side button, which double press, launch the camera, or open an app. If you hit open app, I believe that it will give you the opportunity to choose what app you want to open. We have press and hold to wake Bixby or power off menu. I don't use Bixby, so I prefer for that to be the power off menu, so I'll just change that for me. And then how to power off your phone. It just kind of gives you a tutorial there, where to go to find the power switch, or you could double press both the power button and the volume down, just kind of like you would on an iPhone, and then it'll bring up the power on and off options, or the option to restart the device or whatever. Okay. Or you can just say, hey Bixby, power off my device. Okay. Let's see here. We got multi-window, motions and gestures. Okay, so lift the phone to wake. I like that. Double tap to turn on the screen. Double tap to turn off the screen. Keep screen on while viewing. Want that. Alert when phone picked up. mute with gestures. Let's see, mute incoming calls and alarms by putting your hand over the screen or turning your phone face down. Okay. And then of course, palm swipe to capture, which is to capture a screenshot. So if you want to capture a screenshot, you just take the palm of your hand, move it from the left to the right, and there's your screenshot right there. Then on the bottom of the display, it's going to give you some different options on, you know, if you want to share that screenshot, save it into your folder, your Photos app, your gallery, whatever you want to do. Okay. So those are the gesture features that you've got on the Z Flip 5. Now we got one-handed mode. Okay, we'll turn that on. And it's a gesture. And is it? Swipe down on the center button. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, you swipe down. Now that's if you have the, if you're not using gesture navigation and you're using the capacitive keys for your recents, home, or back button, then you just swipe down on the back button and it's going to take you to the one-handed mode. And you can move the screen around. There's a little arrow right there. You can move it from the right side to the left. You can expand it or just move it around basically wherever you want it, wherever your thumb is convenient, whether it's your right hand or your left hand. You could move it where you want. And then I believe to bring it back up to the full display, you just tap on it. Did I lie to you? Okay, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of one-handed mode? Wow, okay. I really don't know how to get out of this. Hold up. Let me figure this out. 1 second. Hold up. Okay, so the way you get out of one-handed mode is just swiping down again on the back button if you're using the capacitive keys. Duh. Okay, so swipe down on it to access one-handed mode and then swipe down on it again to exit one-handed mode. Okay. All right. I told you I've been up since 3 a.m., right? Okay. I just want to get that understood. Bear with me. Give me some grace here. Okay. Now, let's see. Bixby Smart Suggestion, Screenshot and Screen Recorder. Show contact when sharing content. Video call effects. Video brightness. Dual messenger. Sign into a second account in your favorite social apps. And then looking for something else, you got floating notifications, remove animations, swipe to call or text, bring data from old device, easy mode. Okay. And so from there, we've got digital well-being and parental controls, battery and device care, apps, general management, accessibility, software update, which I've already done, tips and user manual, and then about phone. If we go to about phone, this is going to give you all of the information from your device, the device name, Z Flip 5, your phone number. Don't worry, because when you guys see this, that's going to be blurted out. So you will not be able to get a hold of me, but this is my main number. Status information. This is going to give you the SIM card status, IEMI information, the phone ID, you know, all that fun stuff. Then when we go to software information, we've got One UI 5.1.1, which is what it was just updated to. Android 13, Google Play System update May 1st. I mean, so we should be getting one of those, the Google Play System update, pretty soon, because that's on May 1st of 2023. But again, you see, I believe there's going to be 5 years of software updates. 4 or 5 years, if I'm not mistaken, of software updates and security patches for this device. You know, understanding that people are just keeping their phones for much longer nowadays than they have. Not everybody is updating every year. You know, I do it because I'm just a tech slut. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a tech whore, for lack of better terms. Pardon my French. And I'm a reviewer, so it's like, you know, I like to talk about tech, and part of what keeps me doing that is getting my hands on the latest devices. I mean, so here we are. But it's good to see that these devices are being supported for much longer. For the people that don't upgrade every single year, gives you more incentive to hang on to your device because you know that it's going to get the latest features. You know, I remember there was a time where if you wanted a new feature or function on a device, you had to wait until the new version came out. And new versions weren't always coming out every year, right? Sometimes you had to go years to wait for an upgrade. Well, nowadays, super convenient. These manufacturers and OEMs, they just push an update to the device and you are blessed with new software, new features, new this, new that, fixes, you know, for bugs, battery improvement, camera improvement, all kinds of stuff, right? So, updates. Very important nowadays. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is everything as far as the settings is concerned. Now let's pop into this camera real quick. And you know, it's interesting how with certain manufacturers get passes, right? We've seen Google for years on the Pixel devices offer the same camera hardware, but through AI and machine learning and software, you know, they never really seem to miss a beat in the camera department, and that was accepted, right? And you know, it's interesting how a lot of people that were talking about, oh well, how come they didn't give us any hardware with the camera and blah blah blah, this and that, but those same people, they love the camera. And so I find it very strange that people, when it comes to this device, they're like, oh, well, the camera hardware is the same as it was in the Z Flip 4. How many years was Google using the same lens in the Pixel? And I understand this is a Samsung device. It's not a Pixel, but let's not sit here and pretend that Samsung in the camera department isn't in the top 3. You see, I mean, because the 3 heavy hitters, I mean, you got Apple, Google, and Samsung. Whatever your particular order is, you know what I mean? These are still some of the best cameras on any smartphone that you can get your hands on. So, you know, with the exception of a lot of the devices that are over in the Chinese market, I can't really reference those devices because they don't come out over here in North America. You see? So what we have to deal with in the States is Samsung, Apple, Google, Motorola, OnePlus. We get those Xiaomi in the mix because Xiaomi, they show North America some love, right? They put phones out over here. I mean, they don't make them easily accessible, like they're not being sold in carrier stores or like your local Best Buy or nothing like that. But you can get online, you can get on Amazon, you know, and you know, other online retailers and buy some Xiaomi devices, and they actually work in the States. Like they're compatible with the cell towers and the frequencies in the States. There's been some phones that I've had imported and they just didn't work at all. And it was hard to put together a full review for those devices because I'm the kind of reviewer to where I like to actually use a product with real world usage and testing to be able to put together my pristine review. Some people, they just have a phone for a day or two and all of a sudden they got their review out and it's like, really, bruh? You ain't even had that phone 48 hours and you already got a full review? Like, come on, you know, but to each their own. You know, to each their own. And, you know, some people, they've been doing this so long and a lot of these phones, they're predictable. It doesn't take much to learn these devices. I mean, so, you know, I'm pretty sure there's some people out there that where they don't really need to spend extensive periods of times with devices to be able to, you know, be able to talk about it or give an honest opinion on how they feel the phone performs after rocking with it for 24 to 48 hours. Okay, so that's not no knock, but I know that some people, they just be pushing out stuff, you know, just to try to keep up with the masses, you know. Oh man, the internet is being flooded, you know, with this device videos. Everybody's got it, and so I need to get in on that. So let me just put out whatever. No, I'm not one of those guys. I take my time, and I like to make an entrance. You see, it's like what, 5 days later. These devices came out on August 11th. It's August 16th. I'm just now getting around to my unboxing for the Flip. I haven't even started my unboxing for the Fold here, but I'll get to it. And it's just good to know that people want to hear my take. And I promise not to keep you waiting for much longer. So, yes. Camera hardware, same as it was on the Flip 4. But is that a bad thing? No, it's not. As long as there is improvement, I don't have an issue. If there's a way in which the camera tech can be improved and we have better quality photos and videos, even if it does have the same lenses as last year's device, I don't care. I'm just more so concerned about the finished product. What does that photo look like when I take it? What does that video quality look like after I'm done shooting that video? If it's a cleaner, better looking look than what last year's offering provided, then I can say, hey, that is an upgrade, right? I think some of you guys are confused about what an upgrade actually is. An upgrade doesn't always mean new hardware. We've seen this for years with multiple devices. Google being one of the prime example, they use the same 12 megapixel lens for years. Strangely, year after year after year, it got better and better and better and better. So how come Samsung can't do it? Or why, if there's been minimal changes from the camera tech from last year to this year, is that something that they should get slammed about? People love to just have something to nitpick and talk about, you see? And it's nonsense. It's like, how does the thing perform? Okay, take some photos with last year's phone and take photos with this year's phone and compare them side by side. Are you seeing a difference? If you are, then okay, that's an improvement. You see? So, yeah, don't be so quick to buy into what these influencers be talking about. You know, they got to have something to knick-knack and slam and slander, because if they didn't, they wouldn't be able to produce any kind of content. And that's just the reality of the situation. Not the situation, the situation. You see what I'm saying? Now, let's get to this camera. Okay, now, the selfie camera that is facing me right now is a 10 megapixel sensor, f2.2 aperture. This is a 23 millimeter wide lens with HDR, and we do have 4K recording in 1080p recording at 30 frames per second. Okay. The viewfinder looks really clean to me. And let's see, speaking of that selfie camera, boom, now look at that. Look at that. Choose a color tone for your selfies. Oh, well, that's an improvement. You know, Samsung, they're trying to get better with actual color tones. This is something that Google has seemed to master within these last couple of years. That's an improvement, ladies and gents. That's an improvement. All right, so let me take a quick little selfie right here. Boom. Look at that. What do you know? A clean looking selfie. To be expected on a brand new shiny $1,000 device, right? Okay. And then, you know, I like how we got a little touchpad here, you know, and we can, you know, we got some little scrolling effects. I mean, this is the only photo that I've taken, but you see the screen is responding to my finger touching the bottom display. You know, we got some editing tools right here. We can share, we can trash the photo, we can hit the 3 lines and details, remaster the picture, add portrait effect, copy to clipboard, set as wallpaper, or move to secure folder. Like, this is super dope. And I understand you had the same type of thing on the Flip, but I mean, it's just been enhanced a little bit with this year's iteration of the device. All right, now let's go back out of this. Let's get back to the viewfinder. Okay, like this angle, keep it applied for the next time you open a camera. Let's see, keep angle. Yeah, let's do that. So every time I open up this camera, it's gonna be in this angle when I'm trying to take a selfie. When I got it flipped up like this and I'm trying to get a selfie, it's gonna be in this angle. I like that. I like that. I'm not gonna have to toggle the settings or anything like that. It's gonna be exactly how I just set it. And this is a nice angle. It's a good angle. Okay. Now, let's see here. All right, so we got photo mode, portrait, video, and then when we click on more, we've got Bixby Vision, AR Zone, Pro Mode, Pro Video, Single Take, Night, Food, Panorama, Super Slow Motion, Slow Motion, Hyperlapse, Portrait Video, Director's View. Okay, and you can hit Add right here. There's a little Add button. You can see that little plus is right here where my thumb is pointing to. That's a little plus. What that is when you click on that, you can take any one of these little presets and you can add them to the list right here, so you don't always have to access this preset list. Okay, so that whenever you open up your viewfinder, if you move Pro Mode down here, then it's always going to be down there and you don't have to access it from this list. Okay, so let's go the other way. Okay, so yeah, so as far as scrolling left, portrait is what we got. Okay, again, we have a zoom. That's not 3x optical zoom. Now let's get around to the main camera. Again, this is a 12 megapixel wide lens. This is a 12 megapixel ultra wide lens featuring dual pixel PDAF optical image stabilization, LED flash, HDR, and panorama. Okay, now let's go into the settings real quick. We have scene optimizer. Now, if you turn off scene optimizer, it's going to give you options to access shot suggestions or scan QR codes. Then we got swipe shutter button to take burst shots or create a GIF. I'll just leave it on take burst shots because that's what it's set by default. Watermark, yes. Yes, I want watermarks on because I take a lot of pictures with a lot of different phones, and it's good to have that watermark so that I can differentiate. Okay. Advanced picture options. We got high efficiency pictures, which that's grayed out. We don't have the ability to tap into that, but we have raw copies. So it says save both JPEG and raw copies of pictures taken in Pro Mode. Color tone adjustments won't be shown in raw copies. Okay, so that's under advanced picture options. Okay, for videos, we've got auto frames per second, video stabilization. Okay, advanced video options, we got high efficiency videos. By default, it's set to prioritize video quality, or you can hit prioritize saving space. Okay, whatever you choose. Okay, we'll go back out of that. Then we got HDR 10 plus videos. It says optimize the color and contrast of videos recorded in video and pro video modes. HDR 10 plus videos are saved in HEVC format. Okay, so be mindful of that. Okay, now for general, we got fit to screen, 3.4 ratio, which is what it is by default. When you open up the viewfinder, the aspect ratio that you're looking at is a 3:4. You got 1:1, 16:9, or you got full screen. Okay. Grid lines, yes. I like that. Location tags, this is just whenever you take a photo, it's gonna pin the location to the photo. I mean, if you want people knowing where you took that picture at, turn that on. You know, me, I like to be inconspicuous. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to know where I'm at, so I ain't turning that on. All right. Shooting methods. We have press volume button to take a picture or record video, or zoom in or out or control system volume. Okay. We have floating shutter button, which if you turn that on, then you can just have a shutter button basically anywhere on the viewfinder, so that if the actual shutter button is too far away from your thumb, then you can customize where you want the shutter button to be, and you just press it and it's gonna take the photo. Okay, then we have show palm. Okay, what that is you can just flash the palm of your hand in front of the camera and it will take a photo. Or I find this to be especially useful, like if you set the timer, say to like 3 to 5 seconds, or heck, even 10 seconds, but you're like away from the phone, then you can just flash your palm and then the timer will start going, and you know, you can go ahead and get your pose together, or you know, whatever, and you know, be in position to have that photo taken. So, you know, show palm is actually a very useful feature with taking photos. Okay. Let's see. Settings to keep: shutter sound, vibration feedback, privacy notice, permissions, reset settings, about camera, and contact us. Okay, now let me take a quick photo, because one of the things that I hear very often about Samsung devices is what? You guessed it, shutter lag. Okay, so let's see. Is there shutter lag here? Let me see. Boom. That seemed to be pretty quick to me, ladies and gents. And that's a super clean photo as well. Took a picture of the box of my Z Fold 5 there and a couple of little miniature tripods that I have sitting on my desk. Let me see. Let me take another photo just for clarification. Let me see. What can I take? Okay, just bear with me here. Actually, here, let me just put this on camera so you guys can see. Let me just take a picture of the keyboard right here. I mean, is that shutter lag? Seems to be pretty responsive to me. Yeah, these are just test shots, just to test to see if indeed the picture is being captured right when I press the button. Seems like it is to me. I've heard over the years several times with Samsung devices that there's shutter lag and people complaining about they weren't able to capture a particular photo in the moment, or because they'll hit the button, but then they'll move right after they hit the button, assuming that the photo took the picture, but the picture was actually still processing. And because they moved so quickly, then when they saw the finished picture, it was blurry. And I mean, this happens very quickly. It's not something that you're like standing there yawning and tapping your fingers. It still happens quickly, but I guess there were other Samsung devices to where the shutter response wasn't as quick as you were tapping the button. I haven't had that happen with me in any Samsung device that I've had, but it's happened to plenty of people to where it's caused a lot of concern, and a lot of people seem to have talked about it over the years. Not my experience. Things seem to be nice and quick, responsive. As I tapped the button to take a photo, you just saw with your own eyes through my demonstration that I didn't see no shutter lag. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, that's where I'm going to call this video. Thank you for allowing me to bend your ear on my first initial thoughts and impressions and unboxing of the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5. Links will be down below in the description if you are interested in this device. I bought it from Best Buy, my local Best Buy. $9.99 is the price tag for the 256 gig variant. I do believe that they have the 512 gig as well. That's going to run you $1,119.99 plus tax, depending on where you are. Okay. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to expose yourself to tons of videos that I've done like this one. Hit that notification bell because I've got a whole lot more content to come. And when those videos come, you'll be one of the first to get notified. Check out that content. Comment section is where I'm chilling at all day, every day. All I ask is that we keep it respectful in the comments, and let's talk about tech respectfully. It's okay to agree to disagree. We don't have to share the same views or opinions. That's okay. But let's just keep it respectful in the comment section. Okay, I don't entertain disrespect, name calling, none of that type of stuff. I'll just delete you. I don't even dignify it with the response. Okay. So with that said, you guys already know, please stay safe, get spiritually fit. Keep it pristine in every aspect of your lives. Again, as far as your spiritual fitness, I'm not trying to turn into the preacher, but I'm a lover of people and I'm a firm believer in Christ. I believe that I sit where I sit today because of him and his will for my life. And boy, am I a testimony. And so I'll say, if he brought me out of some of the situations that I've been in, then he could do the same for you. Trust in him, believe in him, submit whatever you're going through to him, and everything will be just fine. Stop putting off until tomorrow what you can do today, because tomorrow's not promised. Okay? So get spiritually fit, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Keep it pristine until then and beyond. Peace.